Alright everyone, welcome to Kid Mouse Super God, and yeah, I'm back. You know when you just need a break, heart, like from doing like such stuff or talking about the game a significant amount, especially to a fair few amount of people, it can get very tiring. So, yeah, I just had to step away for a little bit. I have still played though. I have still played. This video is for Beat the Oracle and my review on it, really. And what I'll be looking at is all the content within it. So that does include the tarot cards that came after it. I'm going to exclude Liv Morgan in this because that was pre-announced anyway, and the review will cover everything. So Deal of Destiny. So if you were around for the whole thing, you've got Deal of Destiny. Lights Out was in there, and also Blockbuster, which is currently out for Stardust. And we'll also be talking about the. We'll just talk about everything that is Beat the Oracle or within that tarot event. Um, like collection sort of stuff, tarot cards, whatever you like to call them. So yeah, I will do my best to be as constructive as possible in terms of if I didn't like anything or critique something or how something could be improved. But I'll also recognise the good things about it. Should there been one? Should there be any? Which there is. There is definitely some good to have of this. For sure. But um, yeah, let's get into it really. So for context, I completed Mystic Map. As you can see, I've completed the rewards. Completed everything. And this will first go to my first positive really, and I would say that it is rewarding. In terms of the content behind it and everything. For example, you get on completion, should you complete it, you get at least 2 Pro Eon cards straight away. I will say though, it does take a while to get, but it's definitely worth. Triple H and Seth, really good for campaign. Of course, Triple H in the up arrows, which I know they've given a lot of up arrows for sure, but especially the charisma side of it for the males, they didn't really give anything out, and they still haven't. Which is it's good because they're giving more people a chance to complete campaign. Of course, this campaign definitely not been easy. I will say though, I would have liked a more variety of the arrows side of things. It was mainly left arrows and up arrows is what I noticed. A few down arrows, 3 down arrows. But let's look at all of them. JC Mateo is a left arrow, power and toughness. Devon Dudley is a down arrow, power and toughness. Andre Giant is power and toughness again, but it's an up arrow. Uncle Howdy was a left arrow, but it's power and charisma. Jade is a down arrow, power and charisma, and Asuka is a power toughness. So no speed cards in Tarot Tournament, as it just refreshes. Cool. I'm not playing anymore. I've already completed it, so not too fussed. Of course, looking at the side of things with the top tournament in general, it was fine. It didn't change from last time. It's basically it just didn't change. Just the people and the backgrounds and the animations. I will give some praise, however, to Cat Daddy about this. Good job on the like the special animations. So at the end, so let's say if you picked I'll show some gameplay of it. Hopefully, I can get some of it. But let's just take on Uncle Howdy for now with JC. We're going to be using JC here, and you'll hopefully see if it gives it me. If it doesn't, then what I'm saying is basically pointless. But it's a whole. the blue arrows. But yeah, definitely good with the animations. Some of them though not making sense. For example, Jade Cargill's is very weird. I still don't know why hers is what it is. It's definitely not the best. I did find JC's a little bit disappointing because its name is Destruction, but it doesn't destroy anything really. Just runs back and forth and just kills the card. Um, but I will definitely say regarding the animations. However, though, these battle animations, they're the same as basically the same as what they've done before. Not much changed. Um, but which I did find a little bit disappointing. But of course it's standard stuff. Will I get? Okay, go. I can show the animation. So this is Jace. So this one I'm on about in terms of the unique animations. So I'm using JC against Howdy, who is like more powerful, and he'll get a unique animation. There we go. But that is it. But I think it could done a little bit more with it. Maybe like a bomb or something. But I understand that they couldn't do that or something. But it would have been nice to reference more to the card. For sure. And in terms of the animation, I will say good job on them. I do enjoy most of them. I know one of my favorites personally is Howdy's. Howdy's is really good with the lantern, although I will say it is a flashbang warning. If don't so don't look at that straight in the eye. It is a flashbang, so definitely don't do that. Andres is fun. You're building a whole castle up, which is really cool. I do think, however, Triple H could have got one and Seth could have got one. As far as I'm aware, they didn't get any for it. Of course, naturally, they may not have decided to go that route because they didn't expect people to complete it. But yeah, they don't really get any. In terms of the animations side of things. And also, I will say, I will give props to the team for the pro animations for these. Now, I will say some of them are not great. For example, Howdy's, and no, in my opinion, anyways, just my opinion, I'm not a fan of it. I just find it quite boring. Um, like I wish there was a little bit more sort of going on, but it looks cool. Either way, sort of him like shaking the lantern, the like the pattern going across his like jacket or whatever they're meant to like different like slides of the cards and stuff. That is really nice. The gold aspects of it again also nice for me to enjoy that. The Seth Rollins pro animation, it is one of the best pro animations I've seen for this for sure. It is in my opinion, it just looks cool. It's a lot going. There's stuff going on. I do recognize though the chains moving. They are standard. But like you got like the squares turning sort of thing. That's really cool. Like diamonds and stuff. Representing like he's the devil. You got him breaking the chest, like putting a chest piece down. Him laughing, and yeah, really good animation. Now, I will say though, my favorite animation is this Triple H one. Now, mainly because it uses the other cards from the event. So, Undertaker there, JC and Seth there, and it's different. Devon, Dom and Asuka there. You can see the point. It does look really cool though, like with the eyes glowing, like him lifting the card, dealing the card. Um, it does look really cool. It's definitely one of my favourites, for sure. Andres I do enjoy. It's basic, but it's cool. Um, so yeah, big props for the pro animations. Now I didn't think I would actually like them at first, but I do. Asuka's is okay. It's not amazing. Jade's is okay, I guess. I don't hate it, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. There's just not a lot going on, but I do recognise what it's meant to try and do. It does look okay. It's definitely not a bad pro animation. That's for sure. Devon's really nice. For sure. Definitely do like how they've done it. Of course, I'm not going to talk about Liv. And Finn's, I'm annoyed I don't have Finn's, but his pro animation looks cool. It's more active. But I'll be talking a little bit more about the Stardusts and the Finns a bit later. So yeah, definitely okay, definitely decent. Now I'm going to talk about Mystic Map. Now the way you got better at Mystic Map was the same as last year's, last year. So Dungeons and Drop Kicks. I preferred to I would be using the terms D&D. D&D is Dungeons and Drop Kicks. So just be aware of that. If you get any confused by anything, it was just an event from last year, and it was basically the same thing. A lot of my review of it has been from last year's, sort of like what last year's did and what it didn't do, and did have they improved on that. So I'll be definitely doing a little bit of comparison between them, because they are very, very similar to each other for sure. So yeah, let me talk about Mystic Map. So the reward side of it is cool. I wasn't annoyed at them. I do think a Pro Paul Heyman could have been in there. Maybe a place like Pro Crystal something. Very easy. But again, that is just me. Location rewards, unless you went for the Clockless Skull, then you're basically not getting much out of it, really. To be honest, of course, the clock gives you 5 extra, and the skull gives you 10 base, so you go for the skulls. Now, it says I've got 12,000 star tokens. That was a visual bug that they just never fixed. I always found it funny, but yeah, it would have been something to fix. But saying that, they've also done the same thing with the stars in campaign, so can't really go miss. The minigame of the card shuffle, terrible. I do not care. What they my concerns was when they announced it was the RNG element, because D&D had the same problem, but in the case of where you could get 0 bonus points, same as this, get 0. And it was annoying as anything when you did a card shuffle and you got nothing. Now, if you bought the perks, which I don't know how many did, that would have stopped that. I eventually did, because I was getting really annoyed with it, because it was just constant zeros. Of course, very annoying stuff, and you only get 240, which needed about roughly 25 to 30k. I didn't do the math for it, but I think it was about 25, 30k that you needed to complete it. But definitely, I think I should consider the reduce of the RNG element side of things. Maybe like a skillful minigame where, if you get points, you get a if you do something so much that you get a specific amount of points, like Foley's Foul sort of thing. Like, that's what they could have done for this, but they didn't. And I'm never a fan of RNG elements in these sort of things, especially when it's like, if you're very close to a card or whatever, and you get a naught, it's 240, you gotta go again. That is definitely not the best thing in the world for sure. I will say, though, some of the pathways in Mr. Map were a little bit stupid. There's one I can think of, which, for the clock, especially, like, once you completed, if you still were going on with it, there was one path where the clock had you looping round, and it was across the whole other side of the thing. I just had it. It's very stupid. It's very costly as well. So the pathways were not the best. I understand the variation, challenge and stuff, but yeah, definitely could have been worked on, for sure. But yeah, that's really all. I will say though, the sort of static side of things is cool. The rewards were fine. Very similar to, I'd say very similar. Were they? Mm, like yes and no. In terms of it, I think last year, I think you may have got a bit more out of it than this year's. Especially with I know you would have got more this year than last year than this year because of the equipment. That's something they didn't really include is the equipment. But of course we know the backstage store existed for that, and yeah, not backstage, sorry, the web store existed for that. But yeah, very um very amazing. I wasn't the biggest fan of Mystic Map. I'm still not. I don't like the RNG elements in games. So now let's talk about the additional let's talk about the mid stuff, the stuff that I didn't find terrible but not good. And I will firstly start off with Stardust. Now, Stardust is the current card that's out now. This is the same thing with Blockbuster, for sure. Blockbuster is the best of the modes, in my opinion, that you'll see, and I'll touch on the modes and stuff they picked a little bit later. Spoiler, it's not a lot good to say about them. Blockbuster, definitely not bad. The odds, they didn't change them at all. Still 20% for completion. You get a lot of codies when you need that for the quest. Stardust was just I'm definitely not a fan of the thing they did behind it. Like, one of these sort of extra tarot cards, or last they could have released another, could have been a draft board event. Very easily. I know last year Xavier Woods was a draft board event and very free to play, but also in contention, you also had Triple H in that, which was in Throne Smasher, which is basically the like the Minesweeper game mode that they rebrand every single time. They decided to change it. So yeah, definitely could have been more. Could have had a drop board event in there. Then that would have been cool. I don't, for God knows for who, but someone. For sure. But yeah, Blockbuster was the best of the worst. Regarding the packs, pack stuff, I was never a fan of the pack stuff at all. So yeah, I'm not like it's a split really between liking it and not liking it. I'm very on the fence with it because there are elements of it that I actually do not mind, but it's like getting a single is fine. Getting the pro though was annoying. It's just one of them things in which, if you got lucky, fair enough. Of course, you'll think it's amazing. But yeah, I will say objectively not the best thing in the world when it came to it, and also these extra packs and stuff that they did. For example, I got the one for £20. Got a bonus chance, and yeah, definitely not the best in terms of that. So yeah, I would say, like, if I was to grade. I don't know why it's giving me off wall. So yeah, to like do like a grading of this at the start, I would just give it a C. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad either. It passed. It's done its job, I guess. Getting the preferred Stardust out of the three other cards is definitely the easiest, in my opinion. So yeah, definitely one of the things. Now let's talk about Deal of Destiny, and it's not good. Now, this has been for the whole of the event, from start to the end, and for this Undertaker, and as a result, I haven't got him. The Undertaker card, definitely not good. I'm never a fan of gambling game modes in the game. I never was, I never am. If you've watched anything like Play Cards Right, or you'll have a thing called higher or lower. That's all it is. It's just higher or lower, but you don't know what's coming at. You don't know what's coming next. You just have to guess. The odds are terrible. In terms of these, Cat Daddy, please never bring this back again. This should just be an experimental sort of thing. There's no skill involved at all. It is just gambling. But like, even a completion reward for it, 5%. It's like, oh my god. I guess you got your 10% there, but yeah, definitely not good for sure. I will just yeah, I can't really say anything good about it really. It's cool, the aesthetics are alright, but yeah, please can I never bring this back. In terms of the aspect of it, definitely not ideal. But let's talk about the um. Now, I'm gonna talk about, in my opinion, what the worst thing about this thing was, and my two most, well, actually, no, before I save the Dominic and Finn feedback, I'm gonna talk about the heart tokens, because that was a very questionable point in this game, in terms of it, and the change that they made is you had a chance in free packs. Congrats. And they also split between 20 heart tokens and 20 star tokens, because everyone was complaining. Well, a lot of people complaining about the fact that heart token distribution wasn't good, and I agree. It was not good. And is it still good? No. The biggest reason, what the biggest reasons why I took a little bit of a break from like talking about it online, because it would have been me just repeating words constantly in terms of fix your card token distribution. We need a mode, we need something to do, and I think that's something that they just didn't want to do. And I will say it was better, but it's like fixing a broken bone with a plaster. Like, they didn't really do much. Boom, being 12 wins, not unlimited, 6 heart tokens, 6 star tokens. I think they should have done 12 heart tokens in Boom personally, but again, that's just me. To each their own, of course. Not everyone will agree with me on this, but you're basically getting the same benefit. Well, you on paper you're still getting the same benefit as 6 for 6. Same if you were doing like, the only way you'll not benefit from it is if they did 12 star tokens, then you won't be benefiting at all. So yeah, I think they should have done just 12 heart tokens inside it, or equally introduce a mode like 24/7 or 24/7 tattoo takedown or whatever. They could have done something like that, but I think for the Halloween event coming up very soon, I'll be talking about that a little bit in another video in soon time. They definitely could have done something extra with it. I think they should have included mode, like made the game grindable into the sense that that you can play like be with the community, talk with the community, social, like collab with the community or whatever. If you need to, of course, unless you've got all kinds, fair enough. But like it's one of the things one of the things I enjoyed with the last time Tattoo Takedown was around was just the helping the community side of things when I think it was during Titans, I think it was the last one. Yeah, I think it was. Um, I think they could have made this what they could have done to now make it 2 OP. Like for 5 wins, just guarantee one. Just guarantee one. Or alternatively, like just either do like guarantee one of the whether it's one of the following, and it's a heart token or a star token. I think that could be a good idea. So it's not broken. It's not too easy as people say it is. I will say though, it's definitely it was enough to get F3s of stuff if you play enough. But I just got demotivated with it from the start. Me personally, especially someone who's been playing for constantly since Season 2 and consistently as well. It was not nice. I mean, I still did get some stuff. I completed Uncle Howdy 3 times, JC 4, everyone else twice because I couldn't be bothered. quite frankly. So yeah, definitely some distribution issues, for sure. Again, I do think if you're gonna put it to the point where you need something like a heart token, or like, for example, just put it in a mode or something, make sure people can get it a lot. Because it's the end of the tier anyway. Like, let people go crazy. I understand the idea they don't want to make campaign too easy and stuff, but then again, this mode doesn't give you everything that you need for campaign. You do still need a speed card for up arrows for 63. So, but that is typically a male, but again, it's still more than doable. As you get, I mean, you've seen him in my deck where I do have him. I do have Bron Breaker. It's very much doable. But yeah, I will definitely say that Hard Dog Distributor definitely could have been improved. I didn't hate it. I wasn't really like totally against it. I will just say though, it's more of the disappointed side of things that is my main issue with it. I was just disappointed with the distribution. I still wasn't a fan of it, but yeah. Now I'm going to talk about the worst bit about Beat the Oracle, and I don't know how many people agree with me with it. Of course, state your opinions in the comments, or tell me that I've got a terrible opinion. And that it's one of the things. But I'm going to talk about the worst of it now. Now, do not let the fact that for those who got lucky with it say it's good. It isn't, and that is Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. And I will always be against Lights Out. Like, Cat Daddy, please get rid of Lights Out. It's a mode that no one likes except like one person, and that person's probably most likely pay to win. I'm not gonna point fingers at anyone, but if you like Lights Out, I don't know why. You don't need Lights Out. Lights Out, it could not be in the game, and it made the game a better place, genuinely. And this for Dom. And you can get the single, but getting the pros annoying as anything. Like you like, let me take Stardust, because Dominic was doing the exact same. Right, Stardust, right, or Dom, you had a 5% chance in a free pack. Other than that, you had Lights Out, and it was 20% on a completion, which could take to them around the. It could take up to 2,000 credits. These cards are going to be useless in a month. We don't need them. You use them for like 3 days, like a day in the season, a day, and then you're done with them. Like we don't need them. I mean, of course, with the Dom Nuggets and everything, or the Liv Morgan equipment that they've just done now, and just so I know, if you've not seen it already, there is a new code. There's 2 new codes that should work. Fate and Fortune is one of them. It guarantees a tarot tournament card, and some other random stuff. And that the code Daddy Dom. That is another one, and you get 2 pieces of equipment for Liv Morgan. So, which again, this makes me believe that I don't think Liv Morgan should have been a battle pass. I think it should have been draft board with this. But yeah, the worst bit was definitely Dominic. Now I'm going to talk about the other worst thing, which was Finn. Now Finn, although obtainable from the quests and stuff, they put him under nothing. Just packs. And this is season 5 behaviour that I did not like. Season 6 behaviour I just didn't like. And like we praise season 6 and 5. Well, mainly 5. But the amount of greed that they had is very prominent in season 5 that they gave us anyway. And in terms of it, they just decided to pull them only in packs, and if you didn't get lucky, you had to spend to get the pro. Getting the single, fine. Getting the pro, no. So yeah, I would say for me, Dom and Finn are just an F. Like I'm not a fan of them. Neither of them are just all terrible. In terms of it. Now let's talk about the quests and Finns. As you can see, I've done it. Now, place 7, I think it was either 50 or 75 PvPs. Super moves was about 30 of them. Open card packs, campaign, so quite easy. And also in like objective awards, etc. Heart tokens. Now, this was during the time where heart tokens obtainability was terrible. But I mean, it stuck around, so it's definitely easier to do. And you got reset jackpot 30 times. Now this quest, well, quest. I still need 4 DOMs. Actually, while I'm talking about it, I will do some picks and stuff. Should I have picks? Day Street 15 picks. There we go. So hopefully I can get the Dom single. I got 45 picks. Hopefully I can get 4 of them. I mean, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But yeah, these using Super Move gameplay events. Now it's just join LMS. Yep, join LMS. Pretty sure, so it's fine. Or it might have been during AJ Lee. Well, it would have carried over anyway, so it don't matter. Super Moves, I think it was 25-30 again. These 200 Dom Legacy cards, stupid. Right, let me show. So I'm gonna show the Dominic Mysterio Legacy card pack that they gave us, and his own Legacy. Okay, everything here is Legacy, except WrestleMania 40. Why is this here? Cat Daddy, please explain in what world is Dominic Mysterio WrestleMania 40 getting put in here? Why? I put it in the I'm back in 2K Community Discord now. I'm back in there, and I'm back in the server. And to this day, I am questioning why they put WrestleMania 40 in. It's not a Legacy card, and it doesn't even count towards progress. So yeah, very stupid stuff indeed. That's something that I wish they improved on. I got Dom Legacy card there in the 1-1, which actually counts. Definitely not good in terms of that. Definitely a very big low point of this was Dominic. There's another one. Hopefully I can get another 2. But yeah, they did increase the pull rates. I have felt it. The pull rate's definitely better now. But again, they should have been under a mode. They could pull under a mode, and I do think they should have pulled it under a mode. Like a 24/7, I think would have been nice. Actually, I'm going to talk about Microsoft the Stardust. Pick me, very easy. This now they actually fixed Cody's. Every card in there is a Legacy card. Now I know there was an issue with Stardust not counting, and they took him out. So yeah, anyone who wants to collect Stardust Legacy cards, yeah, have fun because you can't. For sure, very annoying. Reset draft board was what it was. Again, this just shows that again, now I've not done the quest yet. I probably won't get the star spot unless I grind a lot, which I could do. Like during this little course. You need to get 12 super moves, so it's not fun. But yeah, it's one very easy way to do that, and that is just to play Royal Rumble. And I've actually gotten Dominic Mysterio completed. So let me claim that real quick. So yeah, pull rates were not good at the start. They're not the best now, no. And there is Dominic. Woo, yeah, we got an Neon card in a review. Love to see it. But yeah, I digress. Regarding the legacy card stuff, 200 for Dom was outrageous. I know they brought out gift. Last story set about it. So not the one well, in the current story set there is one. By the time it's out, it should still be there. But yeah, definitely not the best in terms of the distribution. I do actually have a table coming up, so that's nice. Maybe I can get a foil card again. But yeah, definitely, I think they could have used a lot of work on these again, the implementation of modes. I do think that they should just done that. It would have been so much better. Gets the player base more playing a little bit more, playing more different stuff. Of course, you can still do it without, but it's just annoying that, it's the end of the tier and we shouldn't need to do this sort of stuff. In my opinion, I think there's, like, I've always said that the last tier of a season should always be the, like, case of just go all out and just do what you want sort of thing. Like, have the most OP cards ever. Like, they're going to be useless soon anyway. So, but I understand that they have to make campaign more difficult, and there's Montez Ford, which is actually very helpful in campaign for 63. But yeah, definitely it could have been worked on for sure. I was never really the biggest fan of it in terms of the content. But yeah, I will give the overall ranking to this Beat the Oracle event out of 10 a solid 5, 6. I'd say a 5. For stuff that's good, also equates to a lot of bad, and very bad as well. I will say a 5. I know I talked probably a lot more negatively about it, but there is definitely some good stuff. The availability of the pros being available, which is always nice. The change that they did try was a good attempt. Card designs look great. Aesthetic looks great. The pros look great. The animations look okay, although not necessary, but okay. They look good. The Mystic map is rewarding, and it's definitely worth doing. The perk side of things is not ideal, but it's season 11, just to be expected now. But yeah, the bad being Finn Balor, Dominant Mysterio being the worst, Heart Talk distribution not being amazing, not being great. I think Boom should not be forced down people's throats. Like, I do think that's something they could work on for sure. But yeah, I'd say a 5. Is it better than last year's? In my opinion, no. Now, I say this because of mainly Dominant Mysterio and Finn Balor. I do have severe problems with that, and also Stardust as well. I'm going to include him. I do think that could have been worked on a lot. But yeah, I will definitely say this event had some good to say for it, but it's also got a little bit bad, a fair amount of bad to say about it as well. So it's like a two-edged sword, really. For something that's good, you'll probably find something that's bad. But yeah, it's definitely one of the things. Anyway, I understand that this is a longer video, for sure. So yeah, do tell me what you thought about Beat the Oracle. Of course, you just heard all my thoughts about it. But yeah. My next, now, if you're wondering, actually, I'll just tell you now. At the end, my campaign video is coming in the weekend. I'm doing campaign. I'm doing probably starting at 42. I might start with. I think I could start on 42. Like the late 30s into the 84. So yeah, but I am waiting for some cards to come out and stuff. So yeah, if you need help with campaign, that'll be my time of doing it. It'll be around the weekend. I'll be doing a boatload more video. I'll be doing videos all on it, all separating every section. So, for example, although I think I'll be probably do somewhere along the lines of like, not Bianca. Like, to be fair though, I think I may start also with Nikki. Yeah, Nikki Bella will be a fun one, I think, to start with. But anyway, this video is long enough, and it will take a while to process stuff. So yeah, this has been King Supercard. I am back. Goodbye.